Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Andrea Chisholm. The Bank of Jamaica has intervened in the foreign currency market twice in the last few days. On Monday, the central bank sold $30 million to authorized dealers and cambios through a flash sale. 7 banks and 5 cambios were successful in their bids. National Commercial Bank, JMMB Securities, JMMB Bank and JN Bank received the larger shares of the sale. On Friday, the BOJ also pumped $30 million into the market as part of efforts to temper inflation. The US dollar closed at $154.15. And after those interventions, the US dollar is being sold for an average $153.93. $113.66 is the going rate for the Canadian dollar, $172.85 for the pound, while it's costing $154.59 for the euro. Jamaica's net international reserves increased in the month of September. The BOJ says the country's NIR now stands at $3.8 billion, a $56 million improvement compared to August this year. The reserves could cover just over 24 weeks of imports. Seprod says it plans to list its recently acquired Trinidad-based subsidiary A.S. Bryden and Sons. The company's principals told the Financial Gleaner that by the end of 2022, it plans to list the distribution company on the main market of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. This should be done through an initial public offering. In June, Seprod acquired a majority stake in A.S. Bryden and Sons. At a later date, the company is also to be listed on the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange. Seprod owns 60% of A.S. Bryden, while the other 40% is spread among various investors, inclusive of managers and directors of the company. The head of one of U.S.-based financial firms says a recession could be looming for the United States over the next few months. CEO of J.P. Morgan, Jamie Dimon, says this could happen in another 6 to 9 months. He flagged the current inflationary pressures, interest rate hikes, the Russian invasion of Ukraine, and the unknown effects of the Federal Reserve's quantitative tightening policy. Mr. Dimon says Europe is already in recession, which will likely affect the U.S. Earlier this year, Mr. Dimon asked investors to brace for an economic drought as countries try to recover from the COVID-19 pandemic. In June, other financial firms such as Goldman Sachs had predicted a 30% chance of inflation of the U.S. economy tipping into recession over the next year. Economists at Morgan Stanley placed the odds of a recession for the next 12 months at around 35%. The World Bank and the International Monetary Fund have also put economies on caution due to the heightened risk. The JSE index gained 1,745 points today, while the junior market index lost 21 points. Among the winners, First Rock Real Estate Investments, Sagicor Select Funds Financial, Caribbean Assurance Brokers, Caribbean Cream, and Derimon Trading Company. Among the losers, JMMB Group 7%, ISP Finance Services, Productive Business Solutions 9.75% shares, CAC 2000 9.5%, and JMMB Group 7.25% shares. And that's it for the Business Day. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Good evening.